Yeah, how you guys? Just shooting gear just on daylight. So we packed our fish down this morning and just get some gear in the water now. Fishing's been okay, but the currents have been all over the place. So last trip there was a real strong set to the north, and this time it's down to the south. It was setting to the south, and this time it's up to the north, and completely different. And it's quite bizarre. You'll see the change of tide. It might have been, say, 1 p.m. and so the afternoon you might have been, the current might have been coming down to the south. Well, this trip, every afternoon's different. One afternoon you'll haul and the current's running north. The next afternoon you'll haul and it's running south or east to west. So yeah, quite strange. We only had the new moon 3 days ago, so it should start to settle down. So yeah, just makes it challenging when you're manoeuvring up on. So you'll have, you might have the floats running to the west, and you steam up on it. The boys throw the grapnel, and as soon as you grapple and take up the slack, you've actually got to spin around 180 degrees and run east. So it just takes a bit of manoeuvring, and it's quite technical actually, from a skipper's point of view. Yeah, it was definitely a bit of an art form to it, but the beauty with this big catamaran is, as soon as I throw up as soon as the boys throw the grapnel for the floats, I can start manoeuvring it around. So one engine astern, one engine ahead, and turn your steering, and I can basically turn right on my axis and start spinning the boat around. So a great advantage of working traps with a catamaran or twin screw. I've got that manoeuvrability, but the problem we have, well, not a problem, but the thing you've got to allow for is with your currents, is making sure you're shooting your traps in the right direction. So you want to be shooting into the current, so that in the way I deploy my traps, I shoot into the current. The entrance to the traps is at the base of it, so you want it so that your entrances are facing down current. So the fish swim up the burley trail and straight into the entrance is what you're looking for. So yeah, and it's interesting actually, because that being the case, if I'm shooting a string straight into the current, it actually means that my burley trail is actually very narrow because I'm shooting directly into the current. Whereas if I was long lining, we do the opposite. So if I'm on a seamount, I'm chasing blue eye or New Zealand blue nose in 550 metres on a seamount or down a canyon, I'll shoot across the current. So my lines might be 1.5 nautical miles long. I'll shoot across the current, and then you've got a 1.5 nautical mile long burley trail. Because if you're cross current, the current's going across your long line, and that whole width of that long line is one great big burley trail. Whereas if I'm just shooting one string directly into the current with the traps, I've got a very narrow burley trail. But that's how they do it. Yeah, so very interesting, different fisheries, different mindsets. But the beauty is I've got, with Time Zero, I've got an interface with my Furuno current indicator. So it's a 5-level current indicator. It comes up, I've got a big screen for it, and it shows me what's happening on the surface, what's happening, so current direction and speed, what's happening at 20 to 40 metres, what's happening at 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100 type thing. So I know what's happening with the current on the surface and what's happening with the current down at the bottom, and more often than not they are opposing. So very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. And where I'm fishing in an ancient riverbed. So obviously we're in 140 metres sort of thing now, but this whole area would have been part of the land bridge between Indonesia and Australia back in the day. And I'm fishing right in the centre of this, what was actually essentially an old river. And you can't tell me that the currents aren't being directed by the walls of by the route of that riverbed as well. So you've got to sort of take that into consideration as well. So yeah, it's a challenge. It's good fun. So we'll see what the day brings. And we've got a fisheries observer on board this trip, which has been fantastic, wealth of knowledge. And he's been taking out the otoliths, or the ear bones of the fish. And for those of you that don't know, the otoliths, or ear bones, they've actually got rings in them, like growth rings, like a tree trunk. So the scientists use that and they can age the fish and all that sort of thing. So we're sizing length and weight. And are you doing any sexing, mate? Are you sexing them as well?
Yeah, we're sexing.
Yep, so we're sexing them as well. And are you looking at the gonads, the sexual state? Not doing the gonads, so we're not doing the sexual state, which is, it's normally 5 states. So, are they pre-spawn, are they post-spawn, are they spawning, that sort of thing. But we're not doing that this trip. But just gathering valuable information on our resource, So I've worked with the fisheries guys for years. Really enjoy these projects. Really enjoy it because I get a lot out of it as well. I learn from them. So it's works out for both of us. So yeah, it's been good. And he's an exceptional cook too. So I won't say too much. He's listening. But he's a very good cook. And we're looking at seafood Lanska tonight. So yeah, watch out for that. Yeah, so, all right guys, I better concentrate on what I'm doing.